Hi everyone, I'm Joanna Richards and I'm here with Gary Morton, who's a senior financial analyst. Gary, would you like to tell us exactly what it is that you do?
Well, as a senior financial analyst, mainly what I do is making the company better. I work for a Fortune 500 company. It's an insurance company, Liberty Mutual, so a lot of people are probably familiar with that name. But what I'm working in a segment called the reinsurance group, because such large companies have a lot of different companies within them. With that, what I'm charged with is to improve the operations of the group. And to do so, I look at how we do things and how we could do things better. The company is the business makes over $300 million a year, and what I really look to is see how we could improve the operation so that we could continue to have significant profits on a long-term basis.
Okay, and how exactly did you get into it, and how did your education help in regards to getting into it?
I always say education, 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 education. That's critical. There's a lot of barriers to wherever you, whatever you choose to do, especially in the U.S. where I am. I'm from Boston, and not just being Montreal, but being black is a huge challenge. A lot of the times you don't have the network and so forth, which creates more of a challenge. So you have to get your education. Going to Boston, leaving Montreal, going to Boston, I went to one of the top business schools. I was able to get a scholarship to go there because I did well in high school, and that was a 4-year institution where I received a Bachelor of Science in Finance. Thereafter, I worked for a bank, now Bank of America, which most people will know. It's the second largest financial institution in the U.S. And I worked there for 10 years. Within that time, I knew education was the key, so I went back and I subsequently got a master's degree in global management. I always will say education is the key. That will help you overcome many barriers.
Okay, that's very, very good. What I'd like to do is tell us about yourself. What are your interests apart from your amazing job that you do have?
Oh, I got a lot of interests. One of my key interests is real estate. I actually have a real estate company as well in Boston,
okay.
Called Real Estate Professionals, and it's twofold. It's a property management company, and it's also a real estate sales company. So what I do is that I help folks buy houses, and in doing that, say you sold a $100,000 house, the general commission is 6%, so you're looking at $6,000 per house. But the best part of that is really helping people realize their dreams. I've actually been in real estate for a long time, for now over 10 years, 11 years exactly, I've learned a lot along the way, just through my transactions, and able to use that knowledge to help people be able to grow their wealth through real estate, and it's really rewarding. And I'm glad to say that I've actually helped Montrealans buy houses in the U.S., which is a huge reward in my view.
Okay, that's good. In regards to what you said about helping Montrealans to get real estate, what do you think about the housing situation that we do have here, with many people wanting to return, but there's like nowhere for them to go? How do you think we can actually address that to improve the situation?
Yes, I think that's a huge challenge, and I know housing is an issue in Montreal. We don't have a lot of land, but fortunately we don't have a lot of people. But I think that we'll need to grow the population in order to to grow the GDP, and I'd say, first educate yourself, in terms of banking, and get a pre-approval, see what you could afford, make sure that amount that you approve for is working for whatever your budget is according to your income, because you don't want to overextend yourself, and connect with a realtor that has the right network that's going to be able to make it happen for you. That's the first thing I would say.
One of Six Explorer's ideas is actually to build an apartment complex called Emerald Retreat.
Yeah.
What do you actually think of that idea?
I think that's a good idea, but I also really believe in owning your own, and that's how you grow wealth. I mean, it's great to have a roof over your heads and have an apartment complex that's going to accommodate more folks, but there's nothing like owning your own, because if you do own your own, then you could build equity, and that's how you build wealth. So it's significantly important to look towards ownership. So even if you're going to rent, I would look to like a rent-to-own situation. There's those type of opportunities, and I would always seek that out before renting. And I would always recommend, people, if you're going to spend money on rent, you should try to use that money towards a mortgage or something to that effect, to own your own, because that's how you're going to grow wealth, and that's how that's how we're going to grow.
Okay, but do you think that would help in getting people to come back home in regards to the housing situation that we do have?
I definitely think that would help, but I think that we have a lot of land that we could build. The banks have a lot of money that they could lend, and if people have viable jobs that they show that they're not a default risk, I think that they could buy their own. We don't really have to go to an apartment complex. But that said, I mean, an apartment complex may help folks to temporarily get through until they're able to purchase their own. So that will help. It certainly won't hurt. But
do you have any positive words for the youth? Because a lot of them kind of have lost their direction or don't have a sense of true identity.
I have a lot of things. I mean, I think I could probably go on all day. I am actually, I'm the director of Leaders of Tomorrow program in Boston, which is a high school mentoring program, and it's been around, for over 12 years. It's helped over 150 students. And one of the key things that I always tell youths, they're not only the leaders of tomorrow, but they're leaders of today. The one key thing that they should do now is make sure that they get mentors in their life. Look at people who are successful and connect with them. Talk to them. Try to understand what they do, how they got to where they are, there's a lot to be learned there. There's a lot of things that are not taught in school that you could learn from folks that are successful, and the more that they align themselves with those successful people and have mentors in their life, the more likely the road to success is going to be possible. So I always say, get mentors in your life, stay focused. Expose yourself to as much as possible, even things that you're not comfortable with. Exposure is a great thing. That will definitely help you go beyond your horizon. And
that's good. Is there anything else that you do want to add to this interview before we bring it to a conclusion?
Well, I mean, I always, Montserrat is kind of near and dear to me. I love this place. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the weekend. I wish I was here a lot longer. My wife, just had a baby, but it's important for me to come back and give back to the country and support in any little way that I can. So that's the reason why I'm here. But I really love this country. I think most, or if not all, Montserratians do.
Okay. I'd like to thank you very much for coming along and having this interview with us, and I just wish you all the best in your future.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I wish you guys the best as well. You guys are doing a great job. The more that we could get a voice out there globally, I think the better off Montserrat is going to be. I think the more that we will make people aware of our country and our paradise, and I think that that way we could drive tourism and we could drive, other industries in this country that's going to really drive GDP and drive, the country, so that, we get from where we are to, I think, where, a lot of us want to be.
Most definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.